Welcome back to the Author's Corner podcast, the space where writers and upcoming writers and authors can come and get all the information that they need to be able to be successful in getting their book published and being able to be confident in their story so that they know that what they share with the world will change the world. Hi, I am your favorite book publishing and writing coach. My name is Tiffany Dillard. And today we're going to be talking about traditional publishing versus self-publishing. So we're going to talk about all the things pertaining to both options because you do have an option. And so I want you to have better understanding on either option, okay? So go ahead and get everything you need, your journal, your favorite notebook, your drink, your snacks, and come back and join me for an amazing conversation. Hey, Kingdom Scribes, welcome back to the Author's Corner podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about traditional publishing versus self-publishing. First, I want to draw your attention to my amazing t-shirt for the Texas Rangers. They are amazing. We're not the champs anymore, but we were. So I just wanted to, represent the Rangers on today. And I really love the whole Texas emphasis up here. I am a Texas girl, born and raised. And so, I just love, my little Texas shirt. It's got the Rangers, down there, but I just love the whole Texas thing at the top. So, this topic is very important because it is the starting point of your journey when it comes to book publishing. You have to know which way you're going to go. If you're going to do traditional publishing, if you're going to do self-publishing, and I want you to understand why you chose either option. I want to kind of answer the questions and remove all misconceptions often when it comes to wondering which way to go, which way is more profitable, which way is more beneficial, which way is everybody going when it comes to publishing their books, because your choice impacts your author's journey. So, I want you to know the importance of having creative control to your earning potential. Both can be profitable for you, both can be successful for you, but you need to narrow it down of what's best for you. Because self-publishing may not be something good for somebody that may not have a lot of time to invest in the back end of it. You're one that say, hey, I can write the book, I can create the book cover vision, I can get everything done, and I need to just push it off to a publisher and then collect my little check and then go on. Or I'm a one that is hands on and I want to be a part of this process from start to finish. I want to be in complete control of it all. So let's go ahead and get into it. And what I want to talk about first is traditional publishing, the pros and cons. I'm about definitions because I want us to have clear understanding. So, what is traditional publishing? Just a brief definition. Traditional publishing is working with the publishing house, often via a literary agent. So, you get an agent to handle the book production, distribution, and marketing. So your literary agent is the one who will take your manuscripts to different publishing houses and they will see if they want to take your book on to publish it. So it's the same concept as like sports agents, as acting agents, model agencies. Those people are your liaison that go before you to these different companies, and they're saying, hey, I got a good book for you. Here's a copy of the manuscript. Read it to see if this is a book that you would love to publish through your publishing company. And then they help you, make sure that your book production is getting done, distribution is getting done, and marketing is getting done because they are working with the book publishing company, the book publishing house that is going to publish your books. Let's talk about the perks. So, The perks when it comes to traditional publishing is industry validation. It helps build credibility for new and established authors. It helps you to get a stamp of approval for amazing and major publishing houses like HarperCollins and Penguin. That can open doors for you, and they are two of the big five. So, homework today, I want you to look up the big five when it comes to publishing, book publishing houses. I want you to look up the big five and learn these names and learn what they do, because some of these companies do publish Christian authors. So I don't want you to go on their websites and say, oh, well, they don't really cater to my genre. They do. They do cater to Christian authors. And then also search out some other like traditional publishing houses that that may not be a part of the big five and may not be all well known, but are successful, because you have some book publishing companies that have been around for years and you really don't know them a lot, because of course we tend to kind of lean towards the ones that we hear about often and we overlook the other ones as well. So get you a list and write down the big five, and then also do research on the other traditional publishers and see how they flow. Like, what packages do they offer? What is their process? What is it like? Look at reviews to see what is it like working with them, and try to find some authors that have worked with them, so that way you can do your due diligence on the full makeup of your work, your research when it comes to those publishing houses. And so another perk is expertise at every step, access to seasoned editors, designers, and publicists. You get an advance payment. So if your manuscript is accepted by that publishing house, then they will pay you an advance payment. And that advance payment is the projection of what they have come up with of the number of sales that you would have. So basically they're going to pay you and say, hey, let's say $20,000, $30,000 or $40,000. Well, we're projecting that based off your book, your manuscript, they're looking into the design of the cover, all of the things. And they're saying, hey, well, we feel like that you may make this amount of money on this book. And then they're going to give you an advance payment on that. And so basically you get paid before your book even sells. And this is one of the big motivators for many authors. You have a wider distribution because your book is being distributed through their distribution platforms and those that they're connected to. And then you get a strong bookstore and library presence, because if their distribution is also in stores like Barnes and Nobles and your local bookstores, your book is there, Walmart, Target, places like that, then that's where your book is going to be. And that puts your book on a broader scale and within the broader distribution, broader audience for people to look at your book and see your book. So all of those are great perks. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, nah, no, I'm going to be honest. I know that I am a publishing house myself, but with Through New Voice Books, but I'm not going to say that those are not good perks, because they are. They are good perks. Who doesn't want to get paid in advance for their book? Who doesn't want to, be able to have access to a wider distribution platform? Who doesn't want to have a strong bookstore and library presence? Who doesn't want someone to be an expert to help them along the way? Like, all of it is good perks, but there are some drawbacks, okay? So with traditional publishing, the drawbacks are it's highly competitive, and it is, because when your agent gives a copy of your manuscript, and let me just say this, anytime you share your manuscript with anyone, it should always be a copy. Never give someone the original copy of your manuscript. Never. And even when you give them a copy, let them know that this copy is subject to change. So this is not set in stone. This is just a rough draft of my manuscript. And the reason why you use that wording is because you don't want people to get your manuscript and thinking, "Oh, I got it," because some people are not honest. Everybody is not honest. And so some people will think, they'll go through your manuscript and think, "Oh, okay, I got it," and try to do some other stuff with it and publish it on their own. And you may say, "Well, Tiffany, this is supposed to be a Christian space, not the Christians." Everybody ain't a Christian just because they say they are. That's the reason why Jesus warned us about wolves in sheep clothing. Because everybody is not a Christian. Everybody does not truly have a heart towards God, a love towards God. Their mind has been given to God. They don't love God with all their heart, their mind, their soul, and their strength. You do, but they don't. But some people will look at you as an opportunity, you know? They may look at you as a way to get some quick cash. And they can take your manuscript and then they can go and publish a book on KDP and create a cover and everything on there. They can create a cover in Canva and just publish your book and put it out there. So anytime that you share your manuscript with others, it is just the rough draft and it is a copy of the rough draft. Never give anybody the original of anything. Even when it comes to your book cover, everything is a rough draft until it is final. So never, never, never give people the original of anything. And then, you do that, you give them the original, and then you look back and it's like, well, I don't have it because I gave it to them. Now they have control of it all. And who's to say they're going to just turn around and send it back to you or give it back to you? So make sure that it's always the rough of your book cover, the rough of your manuscript, whatever it is part of your book. It's always the rough draft. It's never the original. And even if you can put it on the pages, because I believe like on Word, you can put on there as a watermark, like copy or rough draft. You can put something on there as a watermark. So that way when you're sharing it with others, they can't remove that watermark. You're the only one that can remove it. So make sure you put that on there. That way when you're sharing it, they know this is a rough copy. Make sure that the title of your what you save it under, rough copy. Everything is a rough copy, and be clear with them that it's the rough copy, okay? So traditional publishing is highly competitive because you have millions of manuscripts that are being submitted to these book publishing companies, and they have to go through these manuscripts to see which ones will sell. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a manuscript that's going to sell. Now, I know that with us, we are wanting our books to change the world. We are wanting our books to be the voice of God in the earth so people can know him in a different way through our stories. We stand in boldness and confidence when it comes to our voice and through our stories. But these book publishing companies, the big five and those that operate fully with just traditional publishing, their main goal is we're looking for a manuscript that is going to sell. Because once they give you that advance payment, that's it. That's your money. That's your money. Everything else that comes from your book, that goes back to pay them back. So if they give you like $100,000 advance payment up front, then everything after that you don't get. They keep all royalties because you're paying them back for that $100,000 check that they gave you. They're having to keep that money because they have to pay for your book cover, they have to pay for marketing, they have to pay for space for your book to be in bookstores. They have to pay for all of that. None of that is coming from you, so that's why they give you your money up front. Okay. So next is the rejection rate can be high, and you would also have to be patient because the intake process can take long. because they are thoroughly going through your book and they are trying to make sure that your book is going to sell. They have to be guaranteed payback off your book. All that goes into that is like your popularity. Are you trending? Do people know about you? Are people talking about you? What does your author brand look like? Remember, we talked about that? Who is this author? Do people know her? Do people know him? Is anybody talking about them? Let's check their author brand. What does that look like? All of that is going into the decision of whether or not we want to take on your manuscript, whether or not it's going to be profitable for their business. The second drawback is that you lose creative control. That dream book cover that you imagine, it may not make it past the publisher's design team. They may say, well, that's cute or whatever, but we got another idea for your book cover. And you may feel like, you know what? I went into prayer with my father and asking him about this book cover, and y'all talking about y'all want to change it. Y'all don't like my book cover. And you have to understand that, not saying I don't truly know whether or not they're all Christians or not, but they may not see it as you're seeing it. And yes, they are a company that serves Christian authors, but it's different with working with a Christian based book publishing company like New Voice Books that is truly connected to God at its core. And so they may be like, okay, yeah, you prayed and you talked to God. That's nice. But it's not up to our standard. And they don't use your option. They don't use your vision that you gave them pertaining to your book cover. You have lower royalties because, again, you have to pay the advance payment back. You have to pay the advance payment back. So I'm going to give you some percentages. So self-publishing percentages is like 10 to 15% for traditional versus up to 70% for self-published, meaning you did it all your own. So let me say that again. So royalty percentage. So if you go through a book publishing house where they provide just only traditional publishing services, meaning they give you an advancement, like you have to have your agent submit the manuscript. They have to go through their process of whether or not they're going to accept your manuscript. Say your manuscript is accepted. They see that your book will be profitable and will help make them money. So they go ahead and give you the advance payment pertaining to that. And then they move forward with the process pertaining to the book. Now, with traditional publishing, that's 10 to 15% for royalties. So that means that after you paid that advancement back, because like I said, you're gonna have to pay the advancement back first. After you pay the advancement back, you can get between 10 to 15% in royalties. But self-publishing, you can get 70% because it's on you. It's on you. The drawback is longer time to market. So traditional publishing can feel like running a marathon in slow motion, because they're going to make sure that your marketing is on point. Like everything is perfect. And I know I hear somebody saying, what's wrong with that? Like, I don't have to worry about any of the stuff on the back end. I can just give me an agent, give them my manuscript, and they do all the work for me. And then if it's accepted by a book publishing company, then they'll give me my money, give me my coins. You know, that little trend on give me my money. They'll do that and give you your money. And then you can go on about your business and let them handle the rest and just be ready to show up for wherever the book signing is. It sounds amazing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna knock it and make it seem like that it doesn't sound amazing. It does sound amazing. It does sound amazing. But there's a lot that goes in behind the scenes. Like I said, being highly competitive. Your manuscript could be rejected. Your manuscript could take a very long time to go through their review process to determine whether or not they're going to accept your book. You lose all creative control. So that means that your book cover design and, maybe how you are writing can change, because they're going to take your manuscript through their process. They're going to have their editors look at your manuscript. They're going to have their graphic designers look at your book cover design, and they may say, hey, we need to tweak this a little bit. This don't flow right, or and that may be the way that you need to flow to reach your readers. So you have to think about that. You have to think about the low percentages pertaining to the royalties. Now, if traditional publishing is for you, by all means do it. If what I have shared with you, you're like, okay, Tiffany, I heard the perks and I've also heard the drawbacks and I'm good. I can live with that. Then do it. Do it. Because, like I said, I'm not going to come on here and say, hey, no, go this way and go this way only. No, I'm going to give you options. I want you to know both sides. Okay. I want you to know both sides. I don't want you to think that it's just one sided. All right. Now, let's move on to what is self publishing. So, self publishing is where the authors take full control, managing or outsourcing tasks like editing, cover design, and marketing. Now, with New Voice Books, and just to kind of give you some backstory, New Voice Books, we are a hybrid publishing company. And what I mean by hybrid publishing company, we give you traditional publishing services as well as allow you to self-publish your book as well and be an indie author. So we are bringing those in together. So we do the whole reviewing of your manuscript through developmental editing. We make sure that your story is right. We look at, the whole flow of your story. We help you, kind of tailor your vision pertaining to your book cover. So we give you all of those perks that the traditional publishing gives you. Now, we're not giving you an advance payment because we don't take your royalties. We don't keep your royalties. Your royalties are 100% yours. You have full control over your book. So we are here to partner with you. Yes, we're going to be the expert. So we're going to be the expert on editing and formatting, and we're going to be the expert on making sure that you have a book cover that draws your audience, making sure that your book description is right. We're going to help you with distribution. We're going to help you with registering your book with the Library of Congress. So we're going to help you with all the things. We, again, are partnering with you. We're not just going to say, give us your manuscript, let us read it to see if it makes sense to us and if it makes sense for us when it comes to business. And then here's your payment. Okay, we got the rest of it covered. No, we're going to walk with you on this journey of book publishing to the end. We're going to walk with you from start to finish. Start to finish. But at the end of the day, everything belongs to you. The rights to your book belongs to you. The royalties to your book belongs to you. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there to kind of let you know what hybrid book publishing companies sound like and what we do. So that's what New Voice Books is. We're hybrid. We're coming and saying, hey, we can give you those traditional publishing services because it's necessary. We can help you with that. We can help you with that. And then we also want you to be that indie author, that independent author, and to do self publishing as well. So we combine them both together to create that. Hey, you, yeah, you, tap him, tap her, yeah, back in the back, yeah. You've been asking a lot of questions pertaining to who is New Voice Books. And so I want you to get all the information you need so that you can know how New Voice Books can serve you in excellence. So head on over to nvpublishingco.com. Again, the website is nvpublishingco.com, where you can learn all the things pertaining to New Voice Books. You can see the products that we have in our online store. We have information pertaining to a Kingdom Scribe mentorship program. We have different all-inclusive VIP book publishing services packages. We offer just single services as well. So go on over and just check out the website. Again, nvpublishingco.com, so you can learn more about New Voice Books. And I hope to hear from you by you booking a discovery call so that way we can talk about your book project. Be blessed. VIP experience for you, Kingdom Scribes. So the benefits of self-publishing will be complete creative freedom. You have complete creative freedom. Now, like I said, working with New Voice Books, we're going to make sure that you're within the guidelines. We're going to make sure that your book lines up to the book publishing industry standards when it comes to putting your book out. New Voice Books is not just going to let you put anything out. That's not what we're doing. No, because our name is on the line. So we're not going to just let you put anything out. So we're going to make sure that everything lines up to the book publishing standards. And the book publishing standards can change. There are some things that are set in stone, like how you format, what formatting function your book should be in when it comes to the size of your font, what type of font you use. If you use more than one font, that it should be 2 fonts and not 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fonts in one book. No, 2 max. So we're going to work with you on all of that, but how you flow with your writing, that's part of creative control. Your book cover vision, that's part of creative control. So we're going to help you make sure that it makes sense, because you don't want to have a book cover that doesn't match what you're writing about, because then that gives a different perception when somebody start reading your book and they were like, this book cover don't, this, what is this book? Why is this book cover on this book? It does not match anything that's going on inside of this book. So you want everything to line up. We're going to give you professional advice, but you have to make the decision. So you working with me? No, I'm not going to be like, you want to do it this way. You want to do it this way only. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you your options. I'm going to let you know what the book industry standard is. I'm going to give you clear understanding of why things need to be the way that they are. And then you have to make the decision from there. So creative control, like I said, is your book. It is your vision, period. It is when you want to put your book out, how you want to put your book out, where you want to put your book out, because not all people utilize global distribution. Some people are like, you know what? I don't want to sell my book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any of the online platforms. I want everybody to come to my website. So distribution is based off how you want it to be done, because you have creative control. You have higher royalties because all of the royalties are going back to you. So I'm not making anything off of your book. As a hybrid self-publishing company, I'm not making anything off your book. When you pay me my package fee, that's what you pay. Other than that, everything else is you. Everything else goes back to you. And so now there are potential earnings when it comes to like Barnes and Nobles and Amazon KDP. But I just want to let you know that when you are on these platforms, these providers are going to charge you for being on their platform. Now, honestly, I am one that highly suggests you can utilize these platforms as a separate option, a second option, but it's not the main option. Your main option that I would suggest will be your personal website or landing page, so that everything that you make off this book goes to you directly. I mean, why not? You spent all of your time writing. You spent all of your time with God creating the book cover. You spent all of your time, you know what I'm saying, connecting and doing research, connecting with other book publishing after you've done research. Like, you've done the work. So why not you collect all of the coins? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be the one collecting all the coins because you're the one who did all the work. So it's good to use Amazon because you do have some people out there, and I did not know these people exist, but they do. You do have some people out there that do not want to buy anything from anywhere else unless it does not come from Amazon. Ask me how I know, y'all. I've had people that come up to me and I'm like, they're like, how can I purchase your book? And I'm like, you can go to, my website, nvpublishingco.com. And they're like, well, are you on Amazon? Yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, well, I just go get it off Amazon. Why? I just told you you can buy my book on my website. But they are people that are dedicated and loyal to Amazon. So Amazon is a second option. Barnes and Nobles is a second option. These online platforms are a second option. And you can use it as part of advertising to let people know that there's more than one way to get your book. Because come on now, we're human beings. We love options. We do. We love to have the power to choose. We do not like people telling us that this is the only way we can do it, and this is the only way you're going to be able to do it, and no other way is going to do. No other way is going to do. And so you do. You love the power of choice. Let me say that. You love the power of choice. Amazon and the other distribution platforms, like I said, they will charge you for their platforms. They will charge you for their platforms. So I want you to keep that in mind. So if you're selling your book for $20 and you getting like $6 or $7, $10 the max, you can't be like, where's all my money, Mom? I sell my book for $20. Well, Amazon is saying run me 10 of that because you on my platform. And they too will do a review of your book to make sure that everything is in line before your book is put on their platform. So even after you're finished, and even when you do submit it through global distribution to, platforms such as Amazon, they're going to do a review of your book as well to make sure that your book is ready for global distribution on their platform. And if it's not, they will reject it. They will. They will reject your book. The next benefit is faster publication. You can go from final draft to publishing in just weeks. You don't have to wait through the process like the traditional publishers would do to get your book published. If you're feeling like, hey, my book is done, it's ready to go, I have did my due diligence to making sure that it was edited correctly, my cover is on point, I have my barcode, I have my ISBN numbers, I have everything I need to put this book on other platforms through global distribution. I have gotten it registered through the Library of Congress. Like, I have everything done. I'm cool. Let's go. You can get it done. Traditional publishers are going to take you through a process because outside of what you said, here's everything, it's final, it's done, my manuscript is done, here's my book cover, this is how I'm trying to market it. Like, you have all the things ready to go. They're like, no, we got to allow our people to look at this first to make sure. So their publication process is going to take a little bit longer than if you do it on your own. So, self publishing, like I said, it gives you all creative control to shine through as the author that you are. It does. It does. But I want to give you the challenges as well, because like I said, I ain't trying to be biased. I want to give you all of the challenges so that way you'll know both sides. So, the challenges pertaining to self publishing is out of pocket costs. You're going to be paying for everything out of pocket. Now, if you are an editor and you do an amazing job at it, then by all means, go ahead and save you some coins pertaining to editing and formatting your book. But if you are not, invest in editing. Now, New Voice Books, we offer services where we have the full package to where we do it all. We just, you give us your manuscript, we take it through the developmental editing process, and then after we do that, we send it back to you so you can make the changes that we suggested, and then we move forward to copy line editing where we go line by line by line by line by line. But once you do that, then we move forward. But that's going to cost you an investment. And we also provide the service just separately on its own, just editing services on its own, because you may be one that says, hey, I got my cover already, I'm good on that, I just need somebody to edit and format my book. And so, we offer those services as well, but you need to invest in that. If that's not your kind of place of expertise, then invest in editing. So you're going to have to pay for that. Invest in your book cover. Do not be out here trying to create a book cover on your own if that's not what you do. I understand Canva is amazing and it can help you feel like you are the world's greatest graphic designer out here. But if you don't know what you're doing, the book cover can look like trash. And your book cover is what draws in your readers. Your book cover is what causes somebody to pick up your book and say, I like this cover. What's this book about? Because once they pick it up and see your book cover, they're going to flip it over to read the book description. And that's going to lock them in and be like, oh, yeah, I need this book. Because all of us don't have the familiar faces like some of the, well-known authors out here, New York Times bestsellers. So your book cover and your book description are the capture points to draw that person in to not just pick up your book, but pick it up and take it to the counter or go on your website to purchase it or go on Amazon to purchase it, wherever they get it from. So take time to invest. There's going to be some out-of-pocket cost. You're going to have to pay for the printing of your book. There are going to be some things that you're going to have to pay for. And yes, it's a challenge. But what I can say is that if you know that you're writing a book and God has told you to write the book, first, what I say, y'all, do not do anything without Him. So the first thing you need to do is ask God, what is our budget for this book? What is our budget for this book? Like, God, I need a number. What's the budget? And then when you get that number, trust Him to know that He is going to supply all of your needs according to His riches and glory. But know that there is going to be out-of-pocket cost, okay? So, like I said, your out-of-pocket cost can be your cover design, editing, marketing. That's going to require an investment. Now, there are ways that you can do some free marketing. It is. But at some point, if you want to get to a wider audience, you're going to have to kind of invest in your marketing to kind of get your book pushed out there to more people. So it's going, and then you got to think about shipping costs. Some authors that I've worked with set up a Shopify store, but that Shopify store comes with a monthly cost. So you may be one that has to drop your packages off at the post office or UPS. That's going to cost you. Getting materials to ship your book out, that's going to cost you. So you're going to have out of pocket expenses. Be ready for that. That's why I say first ask God all things pertaining to you getting your book published. Don't get so caught up in, I'm going to be an author. And then you forget to see God. And then when stuff starts to come, you like, I don't want to do this because you got out of pocket costs. Count the cost up with God and then allow Him to lead you through this process. And then if you work with New Voice Books, we are here to help you. We're here to help you. So you have a steep learning curve. I'm going to say that is very true, because when I published my book, The Reflection of Me, I didn't know anything about book publishing. So I had to go on YouTube. I had to get into the different rooms where people were talking about publishing and things. I had to learn all the things to get my book published. I had to learn all the things to, understand how I needed to edit my book, how I needed to format my book, the different types of editing. I had to be a student before I could be an author. So you're going to have to take time to learn about what you're doing. The book industry has changed and will continue to change. Now, you are able to do Audible books now. And at one point in time, there wasn't, there was access to a certain class and a certain level of people. But now you're able to change your manuscript and transform your manuscript into an audio book that can be put on Audible now as an indie author. And when you go on there, you see kind of well-known authors on there, but now you yourself can be that person to have your book on Audible. And so you got to learn. You got to take the time to be a student before you become an author. You have to learn and master platforms like Amazon KDP. They are a global distribution platform. You have Ingram Sparks. They are a global distribution platform. And you also have the platform that I use, which is Lulu. They're also a global distribution platform. So you have to learn how those platforms work. You got to do the sizing of your manuscript, the sizing of your book cover. You got to be able to know how to work these systems so that way when you get ready to submit your manuscript, everything flows successfully. You're not getting hit up with these hiccups during the process because something is not right. There has been times, y'all. Where I have uploaded a book cover for a client. It seemed like 50 times. And it may have been like an inch off, a centimeter off. And they're like, nope, 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 nope. And would have to be up trying to figure out, how do I get this book cover in here? How do I get this book cover uploaded? I'm just not understanding. I'm reading what they're saying. I'm reading the fine print. I'm reading the measurements that they're giving me. And I'm doing that and it's still not being accepted. So I say this to say, don't get frustrated with the process when you're doing it on your own. If you need to walk away, walk away. If you need to take a break a couple of days, take a break. Remember, you are on your own time. This is your personal journey. You're not on the time frame of a traditional publisher. They will set deadlines for you. Now, I'm not saying put it off and 6-7 months down the road. No, still hold yourself accountable, still set some time frame for you, but don't feel like that you have to rush. Take your time. And if that means you got to step back because it's becoming too overwhelming and frustrating for you, then step back. Step back, okay? Step back. Know that the marketing is all on you. So be ready to wear your author and marketing hat simultaneously. You're going to have to do both. And believe you me, I know about wearing multiple hats. I know about wearing multiple hats, being an author, a book publisher, a business owner, the social media team, the marketing team, the book cover design person, the flyer. It's a lot. It will be a lot. But again, if it becomes overwhelming, take time to step back. And then if it becomes overwhelming, this may be something you can invest in. So ask God, like, God, can I, do we have the funding for me to invest in somebody that can handle marketing for me, that can handle doing graphic designs for different, flyers and promotional information that I need? Is that in our budget? And God will let you know. You have distribution limitations. So you don't have access to that wider distribution platform with traditional publishing through using traditional publishers. But you are limited because you're limited to the distribution platforms like Amazon KDP, Ingram Sparks, and Lulu, the ones that they utilize. So you're limited to who they use. And majority of them use, all of them except Amazon. I think Amazon is just strictly Amazon. But Ingram Sparks and Lulu, they use all of the online bookstore platforms. But you will be the one that would have to go to bookstores and libraries to get your books put on the shelf. You don't get that option with self-publishing. Just being real. And so you would have to do the legwork. You would have to reach out and do the work to get your books positioned in these stores and different libraries. So those are the challenges. Now, I want to kind of talk about the common misconceptions pertaining to either traditional publishing or self-publishing. I want to get rid of the lies. Get rid of the lies, get rid of the non-truths about either option. So I want to get rid of the non-truth about self-publishing isn't real publishing. Okay. Yeah. I just had to pause on that one, yeah. Let me give me some more. Hold tight. Hold tight. I need another. Okay. Yeah. When I seen that in my self-publishing isn't real publishing. And I'm like, how is self-publishing not real publishing? And I'm going to share a little bit of this author's testimony. Bishop T.D. Jakes, his first book that he wrote that sparked a well-known women's ministry for years, the Woman Thou Art Loose book. That book, he had talked about how he had went to many traditional publishers to try to get this book published. But during that time, Christian authors and Christian writing and literature was not popular back then. So they're like, we're not going to make no money off this. We're not going to make no money off this. So no, Bishop, they probably say, love you and all, you amazing. But no, we're not going to make no money off this. So we're not going to be able to accept your manuscript. And he went to a lot of traditional publishing houses. Not just one or two. He went to a lot of traditional publishing houses trying to get his book published. And he was not able to get accepted. Nobody was like, nope, we do not see the coins in this. When we look at your manuscript, we're not seeing a dollar sign. So no, we can't take it. So he ended up having to publish that book on his own. And the rest is history. So to say that self-publishing isn't real publishing, his book turned into a ministry. He went from having a little small Bible study with people, with women, doing little small little groups, creating a little small little women ministry, woman's ministry, and that took off to him being one to pass the baton to his daughter, Pastor Sarah, with Woman Evolve, which was already established in its own right. But, he was like, hey, I've done all that I'm to do. I am to pass the baton on to the next runner. All from a book that the traditional publishers said no. But God said yes, because it was a God idea. So he did it with God. And the rest is history. Now I can say, them traditional publishing houses that told him no, I bet you they still talking about that like we should have stepped out. We should have took a risk. Sometimes you got to take a risk. This is the writing tip of the day. Sometimes you got to take a risk, y'all. Even though it is not common, it's not heard of, nobody else has ever done this, sometimes you have to step out and take a risk. I mean, what do you have to lose? Just step out and take the risk. So this is for that person that's saying, yeah, I'm listening to the podcast. I've watched the episodes. I'm getting understanding when it comes to the difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing, but I still don't know if I want to do this, if I want to write this book. Take the risk. Ma'am, sir, take the risk and step out and do what God has told you to do. Okay? Don't hold back your story that can change the world. Don't hold back your story that can change individual lives. Don't hold back your story that can help people to be educated. Don't hold back your story that can help people to learn how to do something that they never thought that they could do. And it was always in them all along. So take risk. Everything is not going to be so well secured and just boxed in. Sometimes you're going to have to come outside the box. You're going to have to think outside the box. You're going to have to do outside of the box. You're going to have to do stuff that people are not doing. You're going to have to write a book that everybody's saying no, because this ain't even trending. Who publishing Christian authors? Like, we're not doing that. And you still take the risk and say, okay, well, if you don't want to do it, I'm going to do it. And it's still going to get done. Because I know what God told me to do. So take risk, Kingdom Scribes. And really, if we really think about it, you're really not taking a risk when you're doing it with God. It may look like you're taking a risk, but it's not. Because with God, you're in a controlled environment. And he does all things well. You hear me? You hear me? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. He does all things well. And if that's loud for somebody, just turn your volume down. He does all things well. So do not be afraid to take risk, okay? That's the writing tip of the day. Now back to it. So another misconception is traditional publishing guarantees success. It doesn't. It does not guarantee success. And I know I hear that hate in the background say, well, self-publishing don't either. Yeah, it doesn't. Either way. Neither one of the options guarantees success, but you still have to choose which way you're going to go. Okay? You still have to choose which way you're going to go. Another misconception that even traditionally published authors must market themselves. They don't. Traditional publishing authors do not market themselves. They may do it to kind of get you to kind of let you know that, they have a book out, they're publishing something, they got to talk about it. They do. It's just like an actor doing a movie. They have to do the little promo stuff to go around and talk about the movie so you can come see the movie. Of course, they want to do all that. And traditional, authors who publish through traditional publishing houses, they're going to have to share with you about their book as well. But to say that they're the ones doing the marketing all on their own, that's not true. They have a whole marketing team behind them that's doing the work. They just have to speak to, like, how you gonna write a book and not talk about it? Like, come on now. I tell y'all that you got to talk about your book. You're self-published. You still got to talk about your book. They still have to talk about theirs, but they do have a team behind them. So don't think that just because you see your favorite authors like your Tabitha Browns and who else got a book out? Your Pastor Mike Tice and all them, that it's like, oh, well, we're doing, they're doing it all on their own. No, they have a team behind them. If they are going through a traditional publishing house, they have a team behind them. They're not just doing this on their own, but they are included in marketing their book as well. So I'm going to give you key factors to help you as an author decide which option you should choose. One is your goal. Do you want creative control or prestige? So I'm going to say that again. The first one is your goals. Do you want creative control or prestige? 2, your timeline. How soon do you want your book out? How soon do you want your book released to the public? 3, your budget. Can you afford upfront investments? Can you afford to invest in an editor and a cover design and a marketing team, or just somebody that can help you with marketing and creating marketing materials? Can you afford that? 4, skill set. Are you ready to learn marketing or collaborate with professionals? Are you ready to sit on YouTube and learn how to have the algorithms for you when it comes to your marketing promotional videos and reels? And then 5, your target audience. Are you writing for a niche community or the general public? So I want you to think about those questions. Your goals, do you want creative control or prestige? Your timeline, how soon do you want your book out? Your budget, can you afford upfront investments? Your skill set, are you ready to learn marketing or editing or formatting or cover design? Or are you willing to collaborate with, ready to collaborate with the professional? And your target audience, are you writing for a niche community? Like, are you writing just about credit repair or marriage or education? Or are you writing to the general public? Now, I know somebody saying, well, Tiffany, you said our book ain't for everybody. It's not. Even if it's written to the general public, everybody in the general public is not going to read your book. So my statement still stands. Okay. Now, I do want to just go back again to hybrid publishing. And so, like I said, hybrid publishing combines traditional support with, while you are self-publishing, meaning having creative control. So you get both worlds combined. And that is what New Voice Books is. Okay. So we give you both worlds combined. And then it does require a financial investment. Okay. But once you pay the package fee, that's all you're paying. Outside of you having to pay for your books being printed, because we don't take care of print costs. But other than that, the whole publishing process, we take care of that for you. I have published, well, God has allowed me to publish 7 amazing authors, 8 if you include myself. And the process of seeing these authors' creative control and minds and visions and thoughts and highs and lows through this journey is amazing. It's amazing to see them come to life when we're in meetings and they're talking about their vision and they're talking about how, they want their readers to kind of relate and resonate with their story. And then I love it when they see the revealing of their book cover, and it's so amazing to see the happy tears. It's amazing as well when they come to me and they're like, I don't think I can do this. And then I gotta be like, no, we ain't playing them type games. No, we're not doing it. So get your life together. Maybe you need a break today, but I'll call you back tomorrow because we got to get on this. But it's fulfilling for me, for myself as an author, but as a book publisher, to see people birth out what God has placed inside of them. So whether you do traditional publishing, whether you do self-publishing, whatever option you choose, it's going to be an amazing journey. Because the main thing is that you are allowing God to use your story and your voice in the earth. You are allowing God to speak through you. That painful story, that not so good story, that story I don't want to really tell nobody because it's so embarrassing. I can't believe that I was that person at one point in my life. Like, that story is going to change the world. But make sure that you are choosing the right publishing option for you. Make it make sense. Count up the cost. Pray and ask God, which way should I go? Which option should I take? And if you know somebody that did traditional versus you doing self-publishing, don't knock them for it. That's their choice. If anything, ask them how was the experience? What would you if you were to do this again, would that be your choice? What was the highs? What was the lows? And then you can share your experience as well. Remember, we're trying to come up with content. Whether you're a traditional publisher, you're doing traditional publishing or self-publishing, that's content. You can talk about their decision. Oh, I'm gonna get these words out. You're gonna talk about your decision with your audience. So they'll know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? How was working with a traditional publishing house? How was working doing self-publishing on your own? How was it working with a hybrid publishing company such as New Voice Books? And I also want you to know that even if you work with a hybrid publishing company such as New Voice Books, it is still considered self-publishing, okay? So I want you to, be clear on that. That is still considered self-publishing because everything is still all on you. All royalties go to you. Upfront cost is on you. All of that is on you, okay? So that's still considered self-publishing as well. So Kingdom Scribes, you have some decisions to make when it comes to your publishing process. You can go through traditional publishing, you can go through self-publishing, you have your options. And outside of what I share with you today, go and do your own research. Go deeper into truly understanding about traditional publishing and self-publishing. I don't want you to just take my word for it. Yes, I am the subject matter expert, but I still want you to do your due diligence and search and research on your own so that you can have a better understanding, a deeper understanding pertaining to both options. And then last but not least, take it all back to God. Take everything I said to God. Take everything you research and you find out to God. And ask God which way you should go. What way has He planned for you? Because you may be one that He has the plan for you to go through the traditional publishing. He has the agent ready for you. He has the team at that traditional publishing company ready to receive your manuscript. And then you may be one where He has everything lined up for you to do self-publishing. But ask God before you make a move or decide anything. Ask God. Because I know I gave you the pros and cons pertaining to either option, but still ask God, okay? So I love you, Kingdom Scribes. Be the amazing writer and author that God has called you to be. stand in confidence in your voice, because our stories are going to change the world. Be blessed.